best way to get good at programming is to practice. And in this example, we're going to look at building a function that takes a default argument. So what does that mean? Well, it means that if I pass in a value, it's going to use it. But if I don't pass in a value, then we're going to have a default value that we can use. So as always, you can download this file from the link provided in the description. Pause this video and try it out for yourself. You can restart the video to check your answer, or if you get stuck, you can figure out how to get unstuck. All right, so let's get started. We're going to take a function and we're going to say def area of circle. Go open up my parentheses, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it a parameter name. Inside my parentheses, I'm going to give a parameter name, radius, but instead of just saying radius, I'm going to say radius equals 3. So what's going to happen is if a value is passed into our function, we're going to use that value. But if the value is left out for whatever reason, we're going to use that default value of 3. Everything else about this function is going to be the same. We're simply going to print out the area. We're not returning it. We're just going to print it out. So I'm going to say print the area of the circle is, comma, radius times radius times pi, which is 3.14. All right. Now we're going to have a main function, def. Now we're going to have our main function. And we're going to call area of circle. I'm going to pass in a value of 1. Area of circle, I'm going to not pass in a value. And area of circle, I'm going to pass in a value of 5. So this is giving me 1, 3, and 5, just so we can see what's going to happen. Now, I want to go a little bit further and just make sure I'm using the right way to call our main function. So if underscore name equals, in quotes, underscore main underscore call the main function. We're going to save this. We're going to run it. And you'll see that for 1, I get 3.14, which is exactly what you expect. Pi r squared, and remember, it doesn't matter the order that you multiply those things. 1 times 1 is 1, times 3.14 is 3.14. When we have 3, 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3.14, you know times 3, it's going to be 27, so 3.14 having 28.16, that sounds about right. Likewise, when it's 5, now you're looking at 25 times 3.14, so that's 78.5. That seems about right as well. So just quickly looking at this, our numbers kind of quote-unquote feel right, and we can see how if I pass in a value, you get an answer. But if I don't pass in a value, it doesn't throw an error like we've seen previously. It simply uses that default value. So this is a real simple and easy process. Now, we can actually have multiple parameters that have default values. We could also have some parameters that are required. That is, we don't give it an equals and then a value. Then have some parameters that do have a value. A perfect example of this is the print function. We've seen how there's a sep parameter, SEP, which changes the value of what is put in between each parameter that you pass in, separated by a comma. And there's also an end parameter that lets us decide what do we want to do when we get to the end of our print function. So that's a good example that's built into Python of us doing that. We're going to look at other examples of how to use functions, including returning values and other things like that, in upcoming videos. So if you're interested in getting better at programming in Python, keep watching.